It started when I came home late from a hunting trip. I parked my truck by the lodge, tired but satisfied after 3 days in the woods. As I walked up, I froze. Music blared from inside my private lodge. Lights flashed through the windows. Laughter and shouting echoed across the pond. I pushed open the door and nearly dropped my gear. Karen. She was standing in my living room, red plastic cup in hand, surrounded by a dozen teenagers and nosy neighbors. My furniture was shoved aside to make room for a makeshift dance floor. My rug was covered in muddy boots. My kitchen counters were stacked with bottles, crumbs, and spilled drinks. And it was all happening inside my lodge. I stormed in. "What the hell is going on here?" Karen turned with a smirk. "Oh, don't be so uptight. We needed a place for a community gathering, and your lodge was just sitting here. You should be grateful you're finally contributing." I clenched my fists. "This is my property. You broke in." She rolled her eyes. "Don't be dramatic. The HOA has every right to hold functions here. It's for the good of the neighborhood." That was the last straw. I had warned her a dozen times before about trespassing, but she never listened. This time, I decided to let her walk straight into the consequences. See, I'd been dealing with break-ins before. Teens sneaking in, Karen trying her master keys, even nosy neighbors poking around. So I'd taken precautions. My lodge wasn't just a cabin anymore. It was rigged with security measures. Cameras in every room, motion-activated alarms, and, for good measure, a few harmless but humiliating traps. I slipped out the back, pulled out my phone, and tapped the security app. Instantly, the front door locks engaged. A loud siren blared. Panic erupted inside. Through the window, I watched Karen's smug face twist into shock as water sprinklers shot from the ceiling, drenching the partygoers. The stereo cut off, replaced with my recorded voice. "Attention trespassers. You are on private property. Law enforcement has been alerted." Kids screamed. People ran for the door, only to find it locked tight. Karen was shrieking, "Turn it off. This isn't funny." I leaned against a tree outside, sipping from my thermos, watching chaos unfold. After 10 minutes of panic, I let them out one by one, every single one of them dripping wet and humiliated. When Karen finally stumbled out, mascara running down her face, she screamed at me, "You can't do this. I'll call the police. You'll be arrested for harassment." Right on cue, 2 patrol cars pulled up. Karen ran toward them. "Officers, arrest him. He assaulted us. He trapped us inside." The officer looked at me, then smiled. "Evening, Chief." Karen froze. "CH Chief." I nodded. "That's right. Not only is this my lodge, but I also am the law enforcement leader here. And I have everything recorded. You broke in. You destroyed property. You hosted a gathering without permission. Do you really want to file that report?" Her face turned ghostly white. The officers didn't even bother cuffing anyone. Instead, they handed her a citation for trespassing and unlawful entry. The fallout was brutal. Parents were furious at her for dragging their kids into trouble. The HOA board, embarrassed by the bad press, forced her to resign from any community planning. And me? I spent the next morning drying out the lodge, smiling as I replayed the footage of Karen drenched and screaming. She thought she could take my lodge for her own. Instead, she got trapped, humiliated, and thrown out by her own stupidity. And now, every time she drives past the lodge, she glares at the cameras she knows are watching her. Because Karen learned the hard way. My lodge isn't community property. It's mine. And I always play smarter.